Hello, this is the Vietnam Social News Update for September 27, 2025. Date of news coverage, September 27, 2025. Hashtag it Meta. Now, here is what's happening in politics, economy, society and culture, and international relations in Vietnam, with background, context, and what to watch. Hashtag Meta. Special Vietnam is pushing ahead with its bold administrative restructuring, known under the slogan, Tin Gọn Mung, sharp, compact, strong. The current reform plan seeks to eliminate the district level and merge many provincial and commune authorities, reducing overlap and improving state efficiency. Wikipedia. The constitutional and legal changes required are significant, and implementation continues to generate debate. Wikipedia. Some localities are already suspending new constructions of government buildings and freezing certain bureaucratic actions in preparation for the transition. Wikipedia. At the regional level, Haiphong City has been urged by the Prime Minister to step up as a development engine for northern Vietnam. During its recent municipal congress, Le Tien Chow was confirmed as the party secretary, and the Politburo assigned Haiphong a central role in achieving Vietnam's centenary development goals. Vietnam Plus. Vietnam Plus. The city is expected to accelerate economic reforms, innovation adoption, and infrastructure upgrades to maintain its role as a growth pole beyond the local region. Vietnam Plus. Vietnam Plus. Meanwhile, in foreign diplomacy, General Secretary To Lum is set to undertake a rare visit to North Korea in October, the first by a Vietnamese party leader in nearly 2 decades. Reuters. The trip, if confirmed, would include a potential meeting with Kim Jong-un, bolstering symbolic ties even as actual trade between the two remains minimal. Reuters. This visit comes in the context of Vietnam's increasing diplomatic balancing, heightening its engagement with global partners while maintaining long-standing ideological linkages. Economy. Let's move to the economy. One of the major challenges facing Vietnam today is the fallout from U.S. tariffs imposed on Vietnamese goods. Analysts project that these measures could reduce Vietnamese exports to the United States by up to 20%, Reuters. To counteract this, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh has announced plans to sign new trade deals with Latin America's Mercosur bloc and the Gulf Cooperation Council by year's end, Reuters. At the same time, he reaffirmed that negotiations with the U.S. will continue, especially to reduce barriers tied to supply chains, copyright issues, and product origin concerns, Reuters. Vietnam's export sector has so far shown resilience. From January through mid-September, export values rose 15.8% year-on-year, reaching $325.3 billion, Reuters. The government aims for full-year export growth to exceed 12%, Reuters. However, headwinds remain. Tariff pressures, rising input costs, and uncertainty in global demand could dampen momentum in sectors like textiles, electronics, and footwear. In parallel, Vietnam is moving forward with plans to establish an international financial center, anchored in Ho Chi Minh City and Da Nang, Reuters. The proposal includes liberalizing foreign exchange, strengthening banking reforms, and aligning regulations with international standards to attract foreign institutional capital, Reuters. While still in draft form, this initiative could help Vietnam evolve from a low-cost export economy to a more diversified financial hub, Reuters. Meta. Pause. Society and culture. Next, in society and culture, Vietnam recently took first place in the 2025 Intervision Song Contest, a Russian-hosted contest designed as an alternative to Eurovision, Reuters. Singer Duc Phuc drew on a Vietnamese folktale of a heroic king, winning acclaim and a cash prize of 30 million rubles, Reuters. The victory is not only cultural, it's also a soft power win, aligning Vietnam with global platforms beyond Western media circuits. Meanwhile, Vietnam's film and cultural diplomacy is going global. the Ministry of Culture has announced that Vietnam Film Week in France will screen 6 significant Vietnamese films in December, aiming to enhance international awareness of Vietnamese storytelling and creative identity. Nhan Dan Online. Such initiatives reflect Hanoi's increased investment in narrative diplomacy, promoting culture abroad as a pillar of national image. At home, the freshly launched English-language TV channel Vietnam Today is a key component of Vietnam's outreach strategy. Officially launched on September 7, 2025, the channel broadcasts 24/7 and is meant to offer an accessible, up-to-date window on Vietnam for global audiences. Wikipedia, covering politics, business, tourism, and culture. It is intended to help reshape international perceptions of Vietnam. Wikipedia. Culturally, the state continues to promote heritage, traditional arts, and literature as core assets in the diplomacy toolkit. As Vietnam deepens its integration into global systems, it also emphasizes that development must rest on national identity and history. International relations. Finally, turning to international relations. In Hanoi, EU Trade Commissioner Maroš Šefčovič visited and urged Vietnam to adopt more balanced trade dynamics. Reuters. Since the EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement, EVFTA, came into force in 2020, Vietnam's exports to the EU have surged by 60%, while EU exports to Vietnam have grown only 10%. Reuters. To correct that asymmetry, Šefčovič proposed practices such as recognizing approvals across EU member states and aligning Vietnam's automotive and technical standards with European norms. Reuters. Behind these trade discussions lies Vietnam's foreign policy principle of bamboo diplomacy, rooted in resilience, flexibility, and independence. Wikipedia, Vietnam seeks to engage multiple major powers without becoming dependent, balancing ties with the US, China, Europe, and regional partners. The Heritage Foundation. Within that frame, a recent leaked report revealed that Vietnam may be using profits from a Russia-Vietnam oil joint venture to covertly repay credit for Russian military equipment, bypassing Western financial systems to avoid sanctions. AP News. This underscores how Vietnam sometimes must thread the needle in its defense and trade diplomacy. If General Secretary To Lum's potential trip to North Korea goes forward, it will test Vietnam's diplomatic balancing once more. Reuters. That trip comes even as Vietnam deepens its ties with powers like the US, the EU, Japan, South Korea, and India, paralleling its long-standing China relationship. Wikipedia. The Heritage Foundation. The overall aim? Maintain sovereign space, cultivate beneficial partnerships, and sustain internal growth in a turbulent regional order. Thank you for listening to the Vietnam Social News Update. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And see you again tomorrow. This news summary is based on publicly available reports and rewritten uniquely for Vietnam Social News. VietnamNews.com is the official web address of Vietnam Social News. We are an independent platform, not affiliated with Vietnam News Agency or any government-owned media outlet.